Columbia Business School offers its applicants an eclectic mix of short answers and essays to respond to, from one that offers you a mere 50 characters to another that gives you 500 words to discuss your goals. Throughout, there are opportunities for the school to get to know more about your desire to be at CBS in particular and what you'll bring to the class. Let's do a deep dive into the CBS 2024-2025 essays. First, that short answer. What is your immediate post-MBA professional goal? 50 characters maximum. So those are characters, not words, characters. And that was 47 characters just there. Basically, CBS wants a no-nonsense statement on what you plan to do after earning your MBA. They want to know that you have a plan and that you can be quite particular in such a tight space. Here's an example. Value investing at a boutique Manhattan firm. That's 45 characters. Rotational program at an innovative manufacturer. 49 characters. You get it. Just do it. Now, turning to Essay 1. Through your resume and recommendation, we have a clear sense of your professional path to date. What are your career goals over the next 3 to 5 years, and what is your long-term dream job? That's 500 words. This is a surprisingly difficult task for many applicants. 500 words on career plans, especially after getting them down to 50 characters, can be a challenge. You can start with a paragraph of context to lay the groundwork for your post-MBA position, and then you have the words left to not just name the position you want, but also explain how you'll grow in that position as well. Also, with a 3 to 5 year plan, you can talk about a progression or even a change. Maybe you start out in consulting, acquire specific skills, and then make a transition to industry. Of course, the job itself has to be specific to you, but the progression and connection to your skills is what is critical. Someone reading this doesn't have to think, wow, I've never heard of this path before. Instead, he or she needs to think, I'm excited for this person. They are going to do it. Of course, there's one more element of this essay, long-term dream job. Feel free to dream and dream big, but don't make it unrealistic. You need to follow the path that you've laid out and then share the best possible outcome on that path. You don't need to be embarrassed to shoot for the C-suite or public office, but these goals can't come from out of the blue. They have to be related to skills and talents you possess or plan to develop. If you get all that done and you still have some words left, and many applicants will, don't just add fluff. We've seen successful applicants use those extra words to explain why they fit with CBS, connecting CBS with the skills they need to develop to succeed. This shouldn't just be some CBS is great add-on, but if you have the words and have resources that you truly value, then you can relate to them at the end of this essay if you have that extra room. Okay, Essay 2, the Phillips Pathway for Inclusive Leadership, PPIL, is a co-curricular program designed to ensure that every CBS student develops the skills to become an ethical and inclusive leader. Through PPIL, students attend programming focused on 5 essential diversity, equity, and inclusion skills: creating an inclusive environment, mitigating bias and prejudice, managing intercultural dialogue, addressing systemic inequity, and understanding identity and perspective taking. Tell us about a time when you were challenged around one of these 5 skills. Describe the situation, the actions you took, and the outcome. 250 words. On its face, this is a tricky question. You may read the 5 categories and you may not be inspired immediately. That's okay. Dig deep into your experiences, and you're bound to have experience creating an inclusive environment or understanding identity. Those are pretty broad categories. Of course, if you have directly managed an intercultural dialogue, a little more specific, that's great. Consider your options carefully and thoughtfully, and know that these words offer you more room than you might immediately imagine. Then start writing. In only 250 words, you need to set up a situation, reveal a challenge, show how your values and interpersonal skills enabled you to solve the problem, and then try to offer some reflection on the experience as well. The key here is to leap in and craft a narrative where your story does the work. Your 250 words will seem confining, but with some sharp editing, you should have a tight 250 that reveal your values in a compelling way. Now, for Essay 3. We believe Columbia Business School is a special place with a collaborative learning environment in which students feel a sense of belonging, agency, and partnership, academically, culturally, and professionally. How would you co-create your optimal MBA experience at CBS? Please be specific, 250 words. Let's focus on the key word here, co-create. CBS doesn't want a passenger, they want a pilot. They want to know that you're coming to their program with a plan and that you understand how and where you can contribute. This doesn't mean that you need to be vigorously asserting yourself and explaining which clubs you're going to take over. Instead, you need to show that you'll be engaged with your activities. If you plan to make CBS's international resources core to your optimal experience, then don't just say that you plan to go on a Chazen global immersion. Know which country you want to visit and have a vision for how you might bring your inquisitive mind or ability to quickly forge new relationships or any other value that you manifest to the trip itself to contribute to the experience. Of course, global immersion is just an example. You need to identify your own academic, cultural, or professional areas of interest, but when you do so, you need to reveal that spirit of both giving and receiving. Again, co-create. And lastly, the optional essay. If you wish to provide further information or additional context around your application to the admissions committee, please upload a brief explanation of any areas of concern in your academic record or personal history. This does not need to be a formal essay. You may submit bullet points, maximum 500 words. Take advantage of this option if you have something left to explain. If a mystery or problem lurks. Low GMAT? Explain it and show your quant strengths. Tough semester? Explain what caused it. No excuses. Time off? Why'd you take it? How did you make it valuable to yourself or others? The list goes on. CBS offers you 500 words, but you don't need to use them all. Generally, you just need to state the problem, own up to it, and hopefully show some growth. You might use half the word count or even less. That said, if you have more than one problem to explain, and that does happen, you could need the full 500, and you may still get in. The school gives you the space to explain a problem because they want to listen, learn, and give you your best shot. If you're still unsure whether you should write an optional essay, check out onTrack by mbaMission, our on-demand MBA application course, which brings you through the entire application process and actually has a 19-lesson module on optional essays, including many, many examples. Now that we're at the end of our CBS essay tips, I'll also mention that onTrack features 2 modules dedicated to the school. I review everything you need to know about CBS and help you write winning essays, short answers, resumes, and more, and you can even practice your interviews. Start by taking our 2-minute questionnaire to build your custom learning path. And also, if you're considering CBS, you might be considering NYU Stern, so don't miss our next video on CBS versus NYU Stern.